Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to decode a cornerstone of the financial world bonds, and you guessed it, the risks that come with them. If you've ever wondered why the bond market moves the way it does, well, you are in exactly the right place. All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to start with a really simple, intuitive idea and just build on it step by step. By the end, we'll get to a powerful tool that the pros use every single day to manage risk. So, first things first, we need to get our heads around a concept that is fundamental to, well, all of finance. And the funny thing is, it's an idea you probably already get, even if you don't know the official term for it. Yeah, most of us would take the cash right now, thank you very much. And that gut feeling is really at the heart of our first big idea. There's a powerful reason we all prefer getting paid sooner rather than later. And it's not just about being impatient.
You see, this isn't just a preference, it's a core financial principle. Why? Well, because a dollar you have today can be put to work. It can be invested to earn interest, to grow. A dollar you have to wait for is a dollar that's just sitting there, not doing anything for you yet. This simple concept, right here, is the key that unlocks everything else we're going to talk about.
Okay, so let's take that idea and see where it leads us. We can actually apply this whole time value of money thing to figure out the price of one of the most common financial instruments in the world, a bond. Just think of a bond as a formal IOU. Someone borrows money and promises to make a series of little payments to you over time. Those are the coupons. And then at the very end, they give you your original loan amount back. But the price of that promise, of that IOU today, isn't its face value. It's what all those future payments are worth in today's dollars. And what's really cool is we can see the math right here. You just take each future payment, that $80 in year one, the $80 in year two, and that final big payment of $1,080, and you discount each one back to figure out what it's worth today. You use the current market interest rate, in this case 10%, to do it. Then you just add them all up, and there you have it, the bond's price. So the really crucial question is why? Why is the price lower than the $1,000 face value? Well, it's because our bond is only paying an 8% coupon, but brand new bonds getting issued today are paying the higher market rate of 10%. So for our older, lower paying bond to even be attractive, its price has to drop. It's the only way it can offer a competitive return to an investor. And this leads us right to the central tension of the bond market. This is something every single investor needs to get. It's pretty much the fundamental rule of the game. This, right here, might be the most important concept in this entire explainer. It's the iron law of bonds. The next time you hear on the news that interest rates are going up, you'll know that all else being equal, the prices of existing bonds are going down, period. And this is the perfect way to visualize it. Just picture a seesaw. When one side, market interest rates or yields, goes up, the other side, bond prices, has to come down to stand balance. And of course, the opposite is true. It's this constant, inverse push and pull. Now, here's the thing. Not all bonds ride the seesaw in exactly the same way. Some are way more sensitive than others. So we've got these three rules. We already nailed the first one, but the other two tell us that bonds with longer terms and bonds with lower coupons are much more volatile. Their prices swing up and down way more dramatically when interest rates change. So what's the upshot of all this price bouncing around? Well, finance pros call it interest rate risk. But what's really fascinating is that this risk actually has two different parts that are constantly fighting each other. This is pretty much the number one risk bond investors have to deal with. It's the simple fact that if interest rates move around, the return you actually end up with might be different from the one you thought you were getting at the start. And it all stems directly from that seesaw relationship we just looked at. Check this out. See how these two risks kind of push and pull against each other? When rates go up, the value of your bond goes down. That's price risk, and that's bad news. But the good news is that every time you get a coupon payment, you get to reinvest it at those new higher rates. And when rates fall, the exact opposite happens. Your bond is suddenly worth more, but you have to reinvest your coupons at lower rates. Okay, so you've got all these competing factors, right? You've got the bond's maturity, its coupon rate, price risk pushing one way, reinvestment risk pulling the other. So how on earth can we measure a bond's true sensitivity to all this? How do you compare apples and oranges? I mean, it's really tough to just eyeball the answer, isn't it? The first bond has a longer maturity, which points to more risk. But the second one has a lower coupon, which also points to more risk. The factors are kind of pulling in different directions. We need a better tool. And that tool is called duration. It's this really elegant solution that basically combines all those key factors, maturity, coupon, everything, and boils it all down into a single number. Now, it's expressed in years, but it's much better to just think of it as one powerful, all-in-one measure of risk.
And just like that, duration solves the problem we were just looking at. We calculate the duration for both of those bonds, and we find that bond A has a duration of 7.71 years, while bond B's is 6.79. It's simple. The higher the duration, the higher the risk. The answer is now crystal clear. Bond A is more sensitive to interest rate changes.
So here's the big takeaway. Duration gives us a clear, straightforward way to measure and compare interest rate risk. As a rule of thumb, for every 1% change in interest rates, a bond's price is going to move by about its duration percentage. This is what allows investors and huge financial institutions to manage their exposure with incredible precision. This whole framework of price, yield, and duration, it's incredibly powerful. It's been the bedrock of the bond world for decades. But, as financial markets keep changing and evolving, these classic tools are constantly being put to the test. And that just pushes us to ask new questions and find even better ways to understand risk.